All right, so on to matchup number 2 featuring Mr. Redheads himself, Siebels and Chris. Chris, again, pleasure meeting you, man. Awesome dude, awesome dude. I don't care what they say about you and drinking Canadian beer, excuse me, or as I say that, right, or Canadian whiskey. I love it. I'm for it. Whatever. Anyway, but in this case, I'm not trying to say too much because there's some changes you need to make on your lineup. But I'm not gonna say too much because I don't want to be accused of anything. But as it stands right now, man, you got a decent team. I mean, yes, you're down there in the standings at 1-6, but your team is pretty solid in a sense where you guys can make some noise. You guys remind me of the real life Minnesota Vikings. You guys can make some noise. You guys can go on a run. I love it. Speaking of the real life Minnesota Vikings, Kirk Chains, like I said, top 10 quarterback. I'm sorry. Russell Wilson on the other side, questionable. Jonathan Taylor, is this the week that he kind of like blossoms a little bit? Do they give him a little bit more of a workload so he can eat a little bit? But it's just such a great defensive matchup against New Orleans. I mean, that's going to be a tough. They're heavy up front. That front eight is running back hungry, and they're about that life, like some people would say. But I just gotta give kudos real quick to Siebels. I mean, started from the bottom, now we're here, right? He and I, we were on the bottom for so long. I don't want to say anything, but man, you're doing a great job, buddy. Keep it up. 4-3. Your team is solid. If Cup can do what he can do all the time, Addison is such an X factor right now for you. That is such a great pickup for you, or just such a great play, man. Your team is looking great. On the flip side of this, Olave getting into some off-field issues that can be troublesome, but I mean, he got people on the bench. Just saying. I mean, it's obvious. Everybody can see that, right? I'm not saying what he can do with his team, but he has a team that can be competitive in this week. So with that being said, as it stands right now, this is my prediction. According to the lineup that's presented in front of me as of today, I have Chris falling short of Siebels, 138-120. 138-120, Siebels, Washington Redheads, victorious for week number 8, matchup 2.